talk to you today about how to stay calm and healthy during a pandemic. Now, this is new territory for all of us, really, unless you lived in China during SARS or something like that. But for the US, at least, this is definitely new territory. And, I'm not the expert, but as a certified high performance coach and a spiritual seeker and, really someone passionate about personal development, I think I have a few things to offer to help you stay calm and healthy during this coronavirus pandemic. So that's really my focus. I've got some cards here because I have a lot to say and I want to remember it all. So that's really the first thing is, we want to stay calm and healthy. And to do that, there are not only some things I want to talk about that have to do with health and safety and that sort of thing, but also I'd like to talk to you about being a positive emotional contagion, because we have a real opportunity here, each and every one of us, to help the situation rather than to make it worse. And I know for myself, it's super easy to get into conversations about this pandemic and about the virus and to be, discussing all the people hoarding things and, hoarding toilet paper and foods, and to, talk about what we're afraid of, and so did this and the other person got sick and whatever. And that's not helpful. So we want to be a positive emotional contagion. We want to bring some calm and some positivity and some faith, to some light to this situation. Most of us are kind of stuck at home, maybe not totally, but for me, I know that I'm in a risk group, being my age, and so, I'm trying to stay home, and I'm trying to bring you a nice peaceful environment here today. It's raining outside. You can see it's foggy and rainy. We've got the fire going because it's cold, and my husband's out at the moment. It's just me here. It's nice and quiet, peaceful. That's what we're looking for, is peace and calm, because it helps us stay healthy. So first, let's talk about some practical things, and that is to act wisely. Act wisely. We've been told to not gather in large groups. Sometimes those large groups are only 50 people. But we're being told not to be in large groups, 1,000 or more, 250 or more, 50 or more, and to limit our exposure to other people. But we also are trying not to expose other people to us. So the way to contain this virus is to actually, stay away from other people as much as we can. So we want to listen to that. We want to listen to the advice to stay home, to not be around other people very much, even if that means not visiting family. So just listen to what we're being asked to do. It's not meant to be mean, or it's not stupid. We don't want to have things get worse. And so we have to act wisely. We have to think about the precautions we're being told to take, okay? And we need to pay attention to that, and we need to act within those confines as much as we can. Of course, we're going to have to go get groceries at some point. We may have to go to work. We may have to go to, to run an errand, to pick up a prescription, whatever it is. Right now, we're allowed to do that, but we won't be allowed to do that if we don't pay attention now, if we don't act wisely now. So act wisely. Okay, so now, how do we stay calm and healthy? So let's start with calm. How do we stay calm? And I have a few ways to do that. And the first is to limit news. Now, I know we all want to look at the news. I am not a news watcher. I rarely watch the entire news. I may want to know the weather or to, hear about something going on, but I tend to avoid the news because it's always negative, and I can get little pieces of it from my husband or in snippets online, But what I find is the news tends to make me anxious, makes me stressed. It is always negative, so it brings me down, and I don't want to feel that negativity or stress in my life. So I do limit news. But now with the pandemic, with the coronavirus, I find myself doing exactly what I did after 9/11, and that's watching the news over and over again, or sitting at my desk working, but taking breaks every 15 minutes to go see if there's some new news out there. And that is not helpful at all. It just creates a huge stress level. I found myself yesterday totally exhausted between people talking about coronavirus and looking at the news and all kinds of other things. I was just wiped out. So we want to limit our news consumption. I would say pick, maybe 2 times a day when you're going to listen to the news, and try to avoid it the rest of the time, because it's only increasing your stress level. It's not making you calmer, okay? Next one is to stay busy. Stay busy, because when you're busy, you can't think about the coronavirus and the pandemic and wonder about whether you'll be able to get groceries because the grocery stores are out of everything. You'll be too busy. So figure out what your priorities are to get done. You have some extra time potentially on your hands. Maybe not if you're home with kids or whatever, but think about what your priorities are. Even if that's just getting the cooking dinner and doing the laundry or cleaning the house, or maybe you work from home and you have some priorities, or you're a writer like me and you're working on a book. So get stuff done, be productive, because when you're busy, you won't be thinking about all these fearful things, okay? Next is mental, emotional, and physical self-care, okay? So you need to start thinking about how to care for yourself, because it's your emotional, physical, emotional and physical and mental health that are going to keep you from getting the virus and help you cope with the situation. So you want to really think about, what do you need to do for yourself? Do you need to meditate in order to relax? Do you need to exercise in order to relax? Do you need to watch something funny on TV? Do you need to eat a healthier diet, a diet high in nutrients? Do you need to take supplements, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit? But what do you need to do to take care of yourself? Because that's super important to staying calm. So, if you're stressed mentally and emotionally, then you might, meditation, prayer, exercise, these are things that will help. If it's about, physical, you haven't been taking care of yourself recently, then it's time to step that up. And last, in terms of staying calm, is to have faith. This is a temporary situation. It's going to go away. And, all things pass, as we know. And so remember that this too will pass. It's not pleasant right now, but it's not horrible. If you're not sick, it's not horrible. You can be in the comfort of your home or whatever. Just reduce how much you're doing out there in the world and, act wisely. It's not that bad, and just have faith that it will pass. And that alone is going to keep you more positive and make you feel calmer. Know that there is a divine being out there that is guiding us and caring for us. And, we live in the natural world, and in the natural world, things happen like viruses and germs and things like that. But just have faith. Have faith that this will pass. All right, so what about on a more practical level? How can you stay healthy? Okay, we talked about being calm. How can you now stay healthy? Number one, wash your hands. You've heard this ad nauseum. Wash your hands. Wash them often. Wash them longer. You need to think about all the things you touch. So you went to the grocery store and you touched things, or you went to the school or your work and you touched things. It's time to wash your hands. You also need to think about washing your hands when you touch your mail, receive a package, put away your groceries, okay? Because you don't know who touched what when. And the fact that anyone could have touched anything, including, the guy who delivers, my UPS package today, I don't know where he was and what he's done and what his health situation is. So we need to think about that and wash our hands in all kinds of situations we wouldn't normally think to wash them. So there's lots of information out there about washing your hands, so I'm not going to harp on that. Along with that comes, the question about masks. It's hard to get masks now. I think if you're feeling ill or you're having a compromised immune system, a mask might be a good thing for you. But let's just stick with the hand washing. Okay, hand sanitizer and sanitizing wipes. Hard to get right now. Except for the guy who has like 17,000 containers of hand sanitizer. Anyway, if it's hard to get them, you can make them, but if you do have them, and you don't want to go on, or you don't want to go online have hand sanitizers. You either make them or buy them, and sanitize everything. I mean, I'm not saying go crazy, but you don't know who touched what in the grocery store. Make sure you have sanitized your cart, that you wipe things down that you touch, or that you wash your hands afterwards, okay? So again, I don't want to harp on all of this too much, but be careful, okay? Be careful. If you don't have sanitizers, then wash your hands and don't touch your face, nose, eyes, any of that. Remember that part of all of this is don't touch your face. So if you're out at the grocery store or something and you're touching all kinds of things and you don't have sanitizing wipes, then be sure you don't touch your hands, face, or touch your eyes, your nose, or your mouth. Let me be specific here, before you wash your hands. Sleep, big one. You need to be sleeping 8 to 9 hours every night right now. We know that people who sleep less than 7 hours, let's say 5 or 6 hours, they increase. I heard a scientist that I am friends with, I heard him say something like that if you're getting 5 to 6 hours of sleep, you increase the possibility of you getting sick by 400%. 400%. So please get sleep. Get at least 8 hours of sleep every night, okay? It's amazing how the body regenerates itself with sleep. Watch your diet, okay? You want to be eating foods that are, as I said, high in nutrients, so nutrient-rich foods. You can eat a balanced diet. I'm not saying you can't eat any bread or you shouldn't eat meat. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a doctor, okay? But you want to be eating things that are alive and full of vitamins and minerals like lettuce and spinach and peppers of all colors and radishes and squash and whatever you can find that's fresh and colorful, okay? But you also will need to eat some meat, some protein, if you're a vegetarian or vegan, and some sort of protein, So just be aware that not to eat junk food and not to eat tons and tons of sugar, okay? Because that's not going to help your immune system. It's going to lower your immune system and your ability to fight off illness, which goes along with this next one, is just to boost your immune system. Boost your immune system. So here I'm just going to briefly say that you should consult with your doctor, but I suggest you take some multivitamins and some herbs. There are lots of, I'm not going to go into a list of what I take or anything like that because I'm not a doctor and everybody's different. I could tell you something that conflicts with or causes a problem with some medication you're taking. So you have to check with your doctor, okay? But do consider taking multivitamins and some herbs to help you. Now, my husband told me today that he saw somewhere that somebody said that herbs were a myth, that they don't help you stay healthy. Okay, fine, you can say that, but the fact is that I also read that, well, first of all, I believe they do, and I know other people who believe they do, including the scientist that I know, and my herbalist, and my doctor. But even if it's just a placebo effect, it doesn't matter, it's helping. So take something that makes you feel good, that you're boosting your immune system. Okay, lower stress. This is a huge one, and this is why I don't want you watching the news too much, and I don't want you spending a ton of time talking to people about the pandemic and your fears about the coronavirus. You want to lower stress because when you feel stressed or anxious or afraid, what happens is your body goes into the fight or flight mode, And what that does is it causes all kinds of reactions in your body that also reduce your ability to fight off disease. It affects your immune system. So you want to be sure that you're getting out of that fight or flight mode. And that means taking time to exercise, to meditate, to walk in nature, to watch something funny, to read a book, to do anything at all that gets you out of stress. You do not want to be in continual stress, and that's what this pandemic will do to you if you're not careful. It's going to make you stressed all the time. So we want to reduce stress so you stay healthy. Last but not least is positivity. Positivity. It's so easy in a situation like this pandemic to feel negative and to complain and to talk incessantly about how horrible everything is. And that is just not helpful. Just not helpful. Again, it puts you into stress. It raises everybody else's stress level and fear level. So you want to be that beacon of light. You want to be the calm in the storm. You want to be the positive emotional contagion and bring positivity to the situation. There is always a silver lining. Always. Something good will come out of this in the end. And it's by you sharing your calm, centered place, you're sharing yourself from that calm and centered place and being the beacon of light, being the positive person, being the positive emotional contagion, that you will infect others with your positivity and with your light and with your peace and calm and help them stay healthy while you help yourself stay healthy. And that's what I really want for you, is to be calm and healthy and to make it through this pandemic with your colors flying. And I want you to help others do the same. So that's it for today. That's my challenge to you. And I would love to hear below if you have other suggestions or what you're doing that's helping you stay calm and healthy, or to hear whether any of the tips that I offered are helping you stay calm and healthy in this difficult time. I'm Nina Amir. I'm the Inspiration to Creation Coach. I help people get from where they are now to where they want to go without anything getting in the way, namely themselves. I also am passionate about personal and spiritual growth. The two go hand in hand. I feel that that we are here to express our purpose, to fulfill our purpose and express our passion, and to get inspired and take inspired action that creates inspired results that help us make a difference in the world, help us live our lives fully and with spirit and meaning. So if that's of interest to you, if you'd like to level up your ability to live fully, to realize your potential, to fulfill your purpose, if you would like to get involved in spiritual and personal growth so that you feel like your life is more meaningful and spiritful, if you're feeling like it's empty, you've reached a certain level of success and you just didn't find what you wanted, then please reach out to me. Fill out the application above. There's a little link above. You can fill out the application for a free Certified High Performance Coaching Strategy session. We'll get on the phone and we'll talk about how to help you find courage, find that calm, find the clarity of how to deal with this situation and every situation that comes up in the future. How to, as I said, be bold and courageous with it, and to be more productive, and to find that purpose in your life again and to fulfill it. So if that's of interest to you, click and fill out my application and I'll be in touch. Until I talk to you next time, go out there and achieve more inspired results.